This video is going to be a little different than usual. So, you know me, I normally talk about toys. But one thing I also like talking about is nostalgia. And for me, one of the most nostalgic bits of Revenge of the Sith merchandise was the visual dictionary that came out along the movie. They still make these visual dictionaries. I think they even did it for like Mandalorian. I know they did them for the sequels, but they still make these dictionaries. The only one I ever really looked at was this Revenge of the Sith one. However, I've never owned it until now. When I was a kid, I always rented this out from my school library. So much, in fact, that my librarian knew I was a big Star Wars fan and set every single book off to the side for me to get first. So that was very nice of her. But this was the one I always had out from the library, the Revenge of the Sith Visual Dictionary. So how I'm going to do this video, I'm going to flip through every single page and give you guys a moment to take a look and see for yourself everything that's on it. I'm just going to point out a few things I find interesting. I'm not going to read every single thing because we would be here all day. But I do want to talk about how awesome the cover is. Grievous looks hyper-realistic. Like the CGI on him 20 years later still holds up. It's absolutely insane. Some images are only like featured on the cover. Like I don't think we see this Grievous image anywhere else. On the back of the book, we can see, I'm pretty sure all these images are reused. I love this art of the Shock Trooper. I have my Hot Toy Shock Trooper posed just like this. And it's really cool to have the Hot Toys one copies all of the scratches entirely. Tyne Meaden right there looking really cool. A little bit of a rundown of what's inside the book. I did get the dust cover with it when I bought it on eBay, but I don't have it with it because dust covers are annoying. All right, let's flip it open. Our first page is a very nice look at what I believe to be Coruscant. I think that's Coruscant. But let's go ahead and keep on going. We get a really dorky Neimoidian warrior right there. Very odd choice. I love the Neimoidian warriors, but they are so dorky. A traditional helmet of Royal Guard. Unwieldy ornamental weapon. Yeah, unwieldy is absolutely right. Even on the action figure, he could hardly hold his weapons. And then right here, we got some really cool stuff. We got the flagship deck cannon, very prominently featured in the Revenge of the Sith video game. Love that battle droid sliced up because the Hot Toys battle droid that came with the deluxe Obi-Wan is actually modeled off of that, which is really cool. Yeah, we can see there's a lot of promo art and a lot of promo stills and photo shoots featured in this. Here is the entire table of contents right here. There's definitely a lot to discuss. Some cool weapons and everything. There's the introduction if you'd like to pause and read that. All right, first page, the Galactic War. Yeah, this goes over the Clone Wars, pretty much shows off all the different planets featured in the movie. Lots of cool images, including the Mustafarian, a cooling backpack turbine. Oh, that's really cool. As well as a very awesome picture of a Phase 2 clone trooper. They absolutely are so iconic to me. And as well as all this Revenge of the Sith promo art for the clones is so iconic to me. So iconic. Next up, we got a whole page on Anakin. My favorite part of this page when I was a kid was always the cyborg limb. Always. It shows off all the little pistons. You can see all the little wires and details. It's insane. Like, the fingertips have feeling. It is so cool. Like, oh, dude, I just got the Hot Toys Artisan Anakin, and it comes with this arm, and I'm tempted to display him with this arm, even though you rarely see it in the movie, but it's just such a cool arm. And I love how you can even see where it connects to his real arm right there. Yeah, very, very cool page. And I like that you can see the Starfighter as well, because on the Obi-Wan page, you can also see his Starfighter. There's so much to read, so much to digest. I love seeing the Boga. I'm happy the Boga gets a little bit of love. There is a lot of awesome detail from the movie in these books, in these pages. So many little things. I'm going to go through after this video at some point and give this whole book a thorough read because it's been so long since I've actually read everything and really digested everything. One thing I absolutely have to point out is the signature look of superiority. That's a meme right there. It's a genuine meme with good old Count Dooku's signature look of superiority. Yeah, very, very cool page right here. A little bit more on Obi-Wan. Anakin actually gets a little extra page later down the road as well. I love the Count Dooku. Apparently he's got Rancor leather on his boots. Interesting, very interesting. All right, we got some Separatist droid action. Some of the new droids featured in the movie. I actually forgot for a while what this droid was until I realized it was the ones that were looking for Obi-Wan down below. You can see for whatever reason, the Tri-Fighter has always reminded me of a mosquito. And it's even a nose cannon. That's what it's called, a nose cannon. Yeah, they just look very mosquito-like. Love the droid gunships as well. They're very, very cool. Alright, moving on. More droid love. I love the snail tank. One of the absolute coolest things in all of Star Wars. I really need the Hasbro toy of the snail tank. I've only got a Lego set. And vice versa, I've got a Hasbro toy of the crab droid, but there hasn't been a Lego set. So hopefully, maybe one day. Did Hasbro make a toy of that too? I don't know. I know I've got the original like 08 Lego set of that came with Commander Fox. I don't know if Hasbro ever made a homing spider droid. I'm genuinely not sure. This page has so much detail. R2-D2 has a million little things, and they pointed out almost all of them. Like, what is a polarity sink? What is that? What even is that? Oil slick arm compartment. So many different compartments and everything. Logic function display. I've actually been curious on what some of the things are. The photoreceptor, so that is his eyeball. That's a spotlight and holo projector right there. What is that thing? I've always wondered what that little blue... It's a status display. Okay, so that's his status display. That's his eye. That's his projector. Because I've always kind of seen that as like a weird little mouth of sorts. I don't know. R2's a very odd droid design. And C-3PO looks super nice and shiny. Super, super pretty. Love Revenge of the Sith 3PO. Oh, here is Supreme Chancellor Palpatine. This is before he's an evil emperor. Absolutely love Palpatine's various outfits in the movie. Definitely like his Senate duel outfit the most. I'm thinking I'm going to get the Hot Toys of Palpatine / Emperor with that outfit, with the red outfit. We can see the Royal Guard was featured in Revenge of the Sith, albeit very briefly. There's a little sneak of Emperor Palpatine right there. Then a couple of his secret fraternity. Alright, flipping the page. This is where it gets awesome, because here is where we get to see some detail on General Grievous. Grievous has a lot of little detail. And again, the CGI looks real, dude. It looks real. I can't believe how impressive the CGI was for Grievous all the way back 20 years ago. It's so impressive. His original mask carved from a Moo skull. Engraved lines simulate original mask's Karaba blood war paint. Like, it's just so cool getting all these little details. I always wish we would have seen in more detail his original, like, Kalish outfit. Obviously, we do have, like, an action figure and some other stuff. But, I mean, look at this, dude. We actually get to see his brain. We get a cutaway of his brain, and we get to see a little bit more of what his skin looks like. Areas responsible for body coordination have been upgraded. Heuristic combat programming aids in Jedi arts training. That's really cool. Areas related to anger have been tampered with, and areas responsible for memory have been altered. That's wild. They even modified his brain. Grievous' own eyes enhanced with cybernetic implants. There's so much detail on Grievous. I love that he got a decent amount of love. Of course, Nuza Gunray and Rune Hako. They really changed Rune Hako's design. Ever since Attack of the Clones. I don't know, I'm just so used to how he looks in The Phantom Menace. It's so odd that they changed his design. Next up, my favorite droid in all of Star Wars, the MagnaGuards. Particularly IG-101, the blue one. Absolutely love him. MagnaGuards are equipped with backup processors that allow them to continue fighting even after they've been beheaded or sustained traumatic amputations. So that's not just an extra eye, that's an extra processor, like in the torso. That's really cool. Deep-seated scanners. He also has a Moo cloak, that match Grievous. So, like, the cloaks were an extra touch by General Grievous to make them more like his own personal guards. That's why whenever you saw ones, like, by Count Dooku in the Clone Wars, they did not have the cloaks that Grievous's do. Even though I think some of Grievous's also didn't have the cloaks. The Coruscant ground crew. This little data file right here mentions that after the war, injured clone troopers became, like, assigned to boost landing, platform maintenance, and emergency rapid reaction squads. With this little data file right here, especially showing the firefighter helmet, ever since I was a kid, I've always interpreted these characters as retired, injured clone troopers that just serve as firefighters. That's how I've always seen it. That's how I've always felt about it. I don't know if it's particularly canon, but I've always considered these guys like a clone trooper to some extent. Got some really interesting Coruscant high life. Very interesting. Especially Delva Racine. She has a snout? What? Very odd. Very familiar face with Captain Phaetoni. Very familiar face. Yeah, very odd. We also have a detail on Baron Papanoidea. Apparently he was a double agent, maybe, possibly. It is thought. Very odd, given how that's George Lucas. Next up, we have Padme and her family. Very oddly, not really featured too heavily in the lore, given how they're actual members of the Skywalker family. Like, I don't know. I feel like you would have expected maybe, Luke or Leia to want to rekindle a relationship with their actual blood relatives. But, I don't know, maybe in the comics or something they are featured a little bit more. But, yeah, they're Skywalker family members, and you hardly see anything about them. Really cool to see a better look at the beautiful, beautiful dress of the new Queen of Naboo. Oh my gosh, all the detail they put into those dresses was insane. I don't really remember that outfit for Padme. I don't really remember that. I don't know if it was cut from the movie or my memory's just flaky. I love the elaborate koi fur originated on Naboo. So, that's interesting. I guess what will be Leia's hairstyle was a Naboo hairstyle. Then obviously that's her most iconic look from Mustafar. Next up, more Senate people. I don't know why this whole page just isn't Palpatine, but yeah, very interesting. That's one of George Lucas's daughters. That also maybe, I honestly am not sure. Tons of weird little character designs that hardly appear in the movie. Some of them of note actually got action figures, like Ask Ak and Amina Tills. Really like Vidaz Ahmeth. He's got a really cool looking design. Almost looks like a red Palpatine with more of like a brain head. Mon Mothma, of course, this actress becomes very heavily featured in Andor, which is really cool how they're able to get her back on board for it. Alright, this is where we get to the Jedi. Tons of Jedi. Of course, Yoda, he's got to have his own page. But we also have Plo Koon, Kit Fisto. Basically, they wanted to hit the spot on the primary Order 66 victims. We see Ayla as well. Barriss Offee, I'm pretty sure, was mostly cut from the movie. I don't know if you even really see Barriss in the movie. Luminara has a super brief appearance. But yeah, very cool page on the Jedi. Gotta love right here. We got Kit Fisto. We have the Senate duel boys, the deadly confrontation. Interestingly, it seems like Hot Toys is trying to get all these characters made. They've done these two. They haven't done Agan Kolar yet. Kit Fisto, though, he is my favorite alien Jedi. By far, favorite alien Jedi. And then Mace Windu, of course, his very specialized lightsaber. Does not mention that it has a badass mofo written on there. Does not mention that. This is all in-universe, in lore. It doesn't really talk about behind-the-scenes things. This is supposed to be more immersive. Here's Anakin's second page, when he is a fallen Jedi. And then some more Jedi over here, Stas Ali and Shaak Ti. Again, covering all of the Order 66 victims. And Shaak Ti, man, she was cut from the movie twice. She had 2 death scenes, and they cut both of them. How wild is that? All right, you ready? Are you ready? All right. If you are on a desktop, I apologize. Just, you know what? I might try to flip this. I might try to change it. Because it's just very hard for me to flip this massive double-page spread for the clone troopers. Oh my gosh. I'm not quite sure as I'm filming how I'm going to make sure you can see this better. Hopefully I figure something out. But yeah, we got Commander Cody on the scene. We got Commander Devis. Oh my gosh. We have Commander Neo. We have Commander Bly? No, that's just a 327th. That's not Bly. Of course, more data file right here. Love that image of Galley. At least I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be Galley. Yeah, this is all very, very cool. Again, that picture of Cody is so iconic. That's probably one of my more least favorite images of, like, promo art for Cody, but I'm happy Cody got some love. Poor Commander Gree didn't get love. Commander Bakara didn't get love. The 212th didn't really get love. I don't even know if the Airborne's in here either. Well, we do have a second clone trooper page. We get some Kashyyyk clones with the scout and the ATRT driver. That same beautiful shock trooper picture. Oh my gosh. Very nice image of a clone pilot. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be oddball with the red up there. I think that means it's oddball. Either that or... Actually, no, I think it just means it's a standard clone pilot with the red. I don't remember, dude. I have a life outside of Star Wars. But this is really cool and actually very interesting, given how this is one of the only tidbits of information that is strictly, like, from another source of media. I mean, obviously, there's tons of information in this book that's not in Star Wars, like, in Revenge of the Sith, the movie. But this is from Republic Commando. This is talking about Republic Commando. Delta Squad freeing Tarful. That's awesome. And we actually get a picture of Fixer right there. So, yeah, definitely loving that. I love some Republic Commando love. All right, moving on from the clone pages. I don't want to, but we got to. Get a little bit more clone love. Just a little bit before we go. I find it very funny how it says action figure right there. Very funny. We also have some concept art clones that did not make it into the movie, like the 442nd. I always loved this image. I've never really seen it anywhere else. That's a standard Phase 2 white clone with the binoculars. When I built my Bandai model kit, I keep them displayed like that, and I think that is very cool. Tons of extra little detail on the clone troopers right there. And then support droids. I guess these are the ones that are just maybe in the background. Honestly, I couldn't tell you just right off the bat where this guy appears. I couldn't tell you. Definitely not. All right. So next up, we got some Utapau love. We got the little Utai, and then we have Tyan Meaden and one of his bros. It's very funny, this gun. I don't really remember it in the movie, but I think one of the action figures came with that. There's a data file with a very oddly CGI-looking Utapau warrior. The Pauan language once had many dialects, and conflicts were common among subsurface cities. Whoa. Here's another weird, whatever their name is. The Vractal? There's another Vractal. I don't even remember seeing that one. Alright, here are the Wookiees. The Wookiees actually get a lot of love in this book. We got Maru, who actually got a 3 3/4 inch figure. Lachichuk and Guanta. Very interesting. Guanta looks like the big... Honestly, Guanta looks like the big figures they made. And Lachichuk looks almost exactly like the thinner Wookiee figures that they made for the Revenge of the Sith line. Like, even down to the head sculpt. It's actually really interesting, where you can see some of the source material for some of the toys. Wookiee Catamaran love. Of course, Chewie. Gotta love Chewie. Alright, next page. A whole spread for Tarful, of all characters. Very interesting that they gave Tarful this massive spread. I feel like they did not have to do this, but I guess they had an extra page to spare, and they're like, you know what, we love Tarful. So, whatever I did for the clones, hopefully I can do it here so you can see it a little better. Hopefully I come across some sort of solution. Definitely am impressed with this page, and I love the design of the shield. All the Wookiee stuff. Like, Tarful is just such a cool-looking Wookiee. I love the look of Tarful. He is awesome. Moving on, we're not done with Wookiee stuff yet, because they've got a lot of weapons. A lot of this stuff I recall and remember from the action figures. Almost all of this was in some sort of toy. This thing is like, how are you supposed to hold that? Like, all these Wookiee weapons, like, the handles are so odd. How are you supposed to hold that? It's so weird. Very cool stuff, though. Like, look at that shield right there. They put so much love and care into so many little facets of this movie just to immerse us and to enrich our childhoods. It's so special. All right, here are the Organas right here. Bail Organa. We got whoever that is, do not remember, but I should remember. Anyways, good old Captain Antilles, who appeared in Revenge of the Sith. He definitely aged very well, considering 20 years later, he wasn't looking that much older in A New Hope. I'm pretty sure that picture of Bail, like, I don't remember him in that outfit in the movie. Maybe he was. I don't know. He probably was at some point. No, it's literally him in that outfit right there. I'm an idiot. It's okay. Oh, spoiler alert. Imagine reading this book before seeing the movie. Just imagine. That would be insane. Oh, here's a spread of all the Separatist Council. The
ranking clan will sign your treaty.
I love Sandhill. He's so stupid. Trade Federation. Uh-oh. That's not New Gunray right there. But wait, I think that's Rune Hako. So the other guy that they called Rune Hako, I don't think that was Rune Hako. I think that was a different one. I think that was maybe Lustrous Dauphine, if I'm not mistaken. So, I think I got gaslit by this book, but that's definitely not New Gunray. So we have Shu Mai and then Katmin Aid. I'm pretty sure both of those actually got toys at some point. Po Nudo. Almost all these got figures, if I'm not mistaken. I know this guy got a figure. I don't know if he did. I've got Wat Tambor. I very tragically do not have Sandhill. I don't remember if I got that guy, but I need Sandhill, dude. I need a Sandhill figure in my collection. And Poggle the Lesser, of course. Very, very cool. Rest in peace to all these homies, by the way. Rest in peace to all of them. Very interesting page for the Polis Massans. They gave them a lot of love. They have very deep, focused eyes, apparently. They're very weird-looking aliens. Osmotic membrane face. Ew, what does that even mean? Surgical hood. Sign language gesture. Oh, do they speak sign language? Oh, that's cool. Do they not talk? I mean, they don't have mouths. Oh, that's so cool. That's really neat. They all have names, apparently. Manili Toon, Salif Zam, Dazorni Zam. Oh, I guess they're family. And Osh Skull. Very odd. Always love the design of this droid right here. Very cool medical droid. Alright, we're getting close to the end. And since we're getting close to the end, we have to show off the villain of the movie, Darth Sidious. So, Darth Sidious had 3 distinct outfits. His first reveal outfit, which was just his Chancellor robe with a black cloak over it. That's what Hot Toys is making. That's his Yoda duel outfit right there, but this outfit is my favorite Emperor Palpatine outfit of all time. This is the Declaration of the Empire outfit. Oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. Sith hood and mantle, face deformed by Sith lightning. So see, this says that his face was deformed by the lightning. Some people think that the lightning just took away his mask. That's what some people think. But me personally, I think it was a mix of both. You can see he's got a whole medical kit as well. Very interesting. I guess that was like first aid for Anakin? I'm not quite sure. Alright, our last page. You know who it's gotta be. You know who it's gotta be. Darth Vader. Of course. Vader was epic in Revenge of the Sith. Oh my gosh. This is incredible. Get to see some of the medical droids once again. We get this really nice shot of Vader, and it's so awesome that Hayden was behind the outfit. And I love how right there you got a little side profile of his helmet. Just makes it feel so encyclopedic. Like almost all the other pages, looking, do not have anything like that. But of course, Vader, he's got to have something right there. Yeah, let's look at some of his details. So he's got a hermetic collar. That doesn't help at all. Vision enhancement receptors. He has shin armor protects prosthesis. Boots adhered artificial limb. Okay. Ribbed multi-ply trousers. Very interesting little details. System status belt. That's a power indictator. Blade power adjuster. Oh, wow. Sith crystal chamber. Yeah, this was all before the bleeding of the crystals was a thing. Here's this random officer, dude. I don't know why that's not Tarkin. It's just some random officer. As a result of having artificial limbs, Darth Vader will never be able to conjure Sith lightning, nor be invulnerable to it. After Palpatine's creation of the Empire, academics for the training of non-clone Imperial officers will appear. Academies, not academics. Alright, I think that's pretty much it. Yep, there we go. One last little thing right here with Grievous's wheel bike, of course. Wheel claws, laser cannons, General Grievous at the controls. It's so cool. Of course, acknowledgments if you want to read that too. These books were so fun for kids growing up with these movies. And for me, this book defined my childhood experience of Revenge of the Sith. Absolutely defined it. This book was my childhood. Absolutely. And I'm so happy to now own it in my collection. It's something that I've always wanted to own and revisit. And I'm very happy that I now physically have it. It only cost me $10 on eBay. Why did I not buy it sooner? I could have gotten it even cheaper, but I want to get one that like I could know was in good shape. I can see there's a few little like condition issues. I think there's some of the pages with like creases in the corner, but it's not that big of a deal. Here, I think like this page right here is really crinkled in the corner. It's okay. I'll just cry about it after I'm done filming. Alrighty, guys. There we go. I don't really have too much else to say. There is the Revenge of the Sith Visual Dictionary. This was my childhood, dude. This book was my childhood. And I'm sure it was many of your childhoods, too. I'm happy I was able to make a video on it. I don't know how else is going to do. Some people may just think, oh, this isn't a toy video and just move on. But I think it's very important to remember that a big reason why we do all this is for nostalgia. And sometimes you'll find nostalgia in things that are not made of plastic. Sometimes you'll find nostalgia in things that are made out of paper. Alrighty, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think about this as well as all the other visual dictionaries down in the comments below. Am I missing out? Should I get all the rest of the visual dictionaries? Should I take a look? I'm thinking maybe someday I might, but for now, this is the one that I needed. Special shout out to channel members as always. Thank you all so much for your continued support. Have a great one, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.